This isn't really going to be about politics, so if that's what you're looking for, you should probably just get out now.
If it fits!
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Fitz. So I was watching the Democratic debate last night. I will preface that I am a registered Democrat and Elizabeth Warren is my girl. Again, just in case that's what you're here looking for, I'll let you know up front. But I was watching the Democratic debate last night, and I don't usually watch the debates, any of the debates, because I never trust anything anyone says about themselves. People are terrible at evaluating who they are and what they've done, and most of it just turns into kind of nasty bickering about things that don't ultimately really matter anyway. Nasty attacks. But I needed a break from working. Candace fell asleep immediately, so I couldn't watch any Mindhunter, and I thought I'd check in. And as most of you probably already know, this was Mike Bloomberg's first time on the debate stage, and I was already pretty annoyed because who is this mother? This guy who essentially just pays his way onto the debate stage. First of all, it was nice seeing that all the other candidates on the stage felt the exact same way I did, and appropriately piled on. He was so unprepared and just looked and felt way out of his league. And it was nice to just get a little affirmation that there are no shortcuts. All of this it's a long process. You make tiny little improvements every day by putting in the work, learning, growing, making the mistakes, plateauing, despairing, and essentially crawling your way towards nothing. There is no endpoint. You're always learning. You're always growing. And every now and again, you get to a certain point and you look back at all you've done and you say, hey, I've gotten a lot better. I'm competent and I'm confident in this thing that I have been working so hard at. And you have the commentators on the sidelines saying how they could do it so much better. But seeing that juxtaposition so clearly on that stage last night, I keep saying last night throughout this entire video, but I'm actually posting this on Friday, so the debate was the night before last. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. Seeing that juxtaposition so clearly the other night on stage with the people who've been busting their butt for probably 2 years now trying to get on that stage versus the guy who just spent however $400 million in advertising to get there, and seeing how unprepared and out of his league he was compared to these folks. Life is hard, and sometimes you just gotta look for those affirmations in weird places of all those things that you know in here, but sometimes you question up here. The struggle is worth it, the work is worth it, and you just have to keep on doing it. And that's all I have to say about that. Also, the other thing I want to talk about is that the People Who Make Stuff podcast is now live. You can go subscribe on iTunes, listen on Spotify, Stitcher. I've been posting the audio on YouTube if you want to watch there. There's nothing actually to watch. You just listen to it, but it's on there. There are 2 episodes out right now where I talk to my wife, Candace Lewicki, and Candace Fitzgerald. I call her 100 different things. Lewicki's her maiden name, but it's also her SAG name. She changed her name to Fitzgerald. It's very complicated. And I talked to Greg Johnson, who I am working with on the short film project right now. And I think they're great. I mean, they're a lot of fun for me anyway. We had the original Complete Unknowns podcast, which the audio was bad and we kind of meandered and talked about nothing. That fell off. And now I'm starting this podcast because I'm interested in it. It's the People Make Stuff podcast, and we are talking about not necessarily what people make, but how they get it made. So the creative process, the life behind making art. And I wanted to do it because I'm fascinated by it. I like hearing people's stories about it, how people work, what's going through their head while they're doing the work, how they balance making things with real life. It's something that I'm always thinking about for myself, constantly figuring out the balance of it all. I just like to interact and see how other people think about it as well. And also, I just never get to sit and talk to the people I know like this. This feels like a weird thing to say, but I don't just sit and have one-on-one conversations with people that I like and respect and want to know more about. So I find stuff that I'm discovering about even my wife. Life and work and other things get in the way. And so selfishly, for me, it's just a really great opportunity to sit down with people that maybe I've known for a long time, some that I'm just getting to know, people that I might be meeting for the first time, and have a real open, honest conversation about what it is they do and how they do it. And I want to talk to you. Anyway, we are shooting the February short this weekend. It is called The Spectacular 8th Birthday of Anthony Trumbull. We have an awesome cast. We have Elena coming back, Joe Lampard coming back. We have Isaac, who I met many, many years ago where I met Candace on a TheaterWorks tour of Charlotte's Web. I played Wilbur. Isaac is a filmmaker and also has a production company of his own called Narrow Bridge Films. Go check them out. Links where links live. They've made, it might be 4 features already. A lot of them available on Amazon Prime. Go watch them. Again, links where links live. Subscribe to the channel. My battery's running out, so I'm trying to wrap this up, and I'll see you next week.